Good morning, folks. This is going to be really quick. I've got my breakfast happening right now because I got to get some painkillers in my body because of my ankle. So this is like going to be really fast. I already preheated the oven. I'm happy in here. I've had a rough night. Rough. I'm not very happy. Not happy at all, actually. Do you believe it? 25 cents a ring. Canadian. So 8 of them. $2. Do you believe that? Which online was going to cost me like $38 for just the delivery. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I got more coming. 327 and 192 for the truck. That's pretty good. And man, do I have brakes now. Whew. Last night coming home with a load, it was just weird. I pushed the brakes and it was like solid. Oh, all right. I got to do paperwork too. So yeah, I think I got some t-shirts to mail for some people. I'm just waiting for the 16-minute mark to start my eggs. Because I gotta get some naproxen. My gut's killing me right now, and I haven't even eaten yet. Oh, that makes no sense, but the ducks kept me up all night. All night. It was brutal. You know why they kept me up all night? I thought it was the fox. I was sitting. I had my slippers on, my house coat on. I was sitting in the doorway with my feet on the roof last night, waiting for this fox because of the freaking out that was going on here, and it was going on all night. It was like, what's going on? You know what it was? You saw the fox at 5:30? No way, Mary. 5:50 a.m. You saw the fox. Because you know what they're freaking out about? The can of geese flying over. Bathtub stream at 5. So that would be roughly how long ago? 2 hours. Exactly 2 hours ago. So you're sure, Mary, 5:50. I'm going there right now because I was positive this morning it was because of the Canada geese. Positive. Okay, bathtub stream. Okay, we're going to the bathtub stream. And we're going back to 5, so 2 hours back. So 5:50. So we'll go 2 hours and 2 minutes back. I'll mute it. That's right, the ducks. I remember that. I was up sitting when that happened, and they ran from the front of the pen. And I said, what caused them to run from the front of the pen? Because they'd been running from the back of the pen all morning. That's right, Mary. I lost track of time last night. I had no idea what time anything was happening. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It was a bad night. And the thing is that Doug wasn't doing any sniffing. He was laying there on the bed looking. He barked once. And it was just a wolf. But he laid, and the wind was blowing off the lake. So the wind was blowing off the yard into the bedroom. So like if there was anything in the yard, Doug was going to smell it. And he sat there, and the ducks were freaking, and he was just staring out the window. So tired. I had no sleep. You like the bright pink one? It's washed out now. It's losing it. I need another one. But I don't have any extra larges. I should have took 2 when they first came in. I only have 1. I need new t-shirts. They're starting to feel rough. They don't have that rough, smooth feeling like they do. You know, the smooth ones when they're at the loft. I'm waiting for the freak out here. I'm gonna put it on fast forward. What am I doing, Matt? I could do this in times 2 speed. This is good, times 2. All right, we're times 2 right now. I'm waiting to see. I'm hoping Mary was right on the time at 5:50 a.m. I was sitting on the roof, man. I was like, come on, Fox, show yourself. Then this morning, all the Canada geese, I watched all the ducks freaking out when I got up. And then I thought to myself, last year, this happened all the time with the Canada geese flying over, freaking them out at night. But I know at the front of the pen, I remember that they just locked. I looked out the window and it was like they were just running everywhere from the front of the pen. I'm right now. I'm on it, Sue. I got the stream running at 2 hours back, and nothing yet. But they haven't ran. They haven't taken off yet. I'm waiting. Good morning, Linda Carter. After that big red flew out. What big red flew out? Then the fox showed up. Our canned geese imported. Are canned geese imported? I don't understand that. I guess we should have called this a mukbang. Good morning, Maggie. Virginia. Sailor. Stance. Digger Pete. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. I just saw the freak out. But they ran towards the front of the fence. Okay, so I'm watching right now. It's the front of the fence. Okay, they're all going to the front of the fence. This is how long ago? Oh, front. Okay, so they're freaking right out. I was sitting there on the roof. I was like, you bugger. And I had to put my house coat on because it was so cold. I gotta get this fox. I guess last night the shot wasn't enough to tell him this wasn't a good place to be. On the right, he's fast. Yeah, I know, but he's fast, bugger. Man, he's freaking the ducks out bad. I'm watching. The ducks are all now at the front of the pen, just losing it. So that's when I was up one of the time. Well, many times. I was up so much last night. I had no sleep, ladies and gentlemen. Worst night in a long time. I'm so tired. I'm so sore too. My ankle today. From I'm watching the screen while talking to you. I'm sorry for being impolite here. I just don't want to miss it. My ankle sore from walking in the mud all day yesterday doing that fence. I had to do the fence. I had to. I could not do it because I thought to myself, this fox, just in case, we don't want to have the little duckies, playing in the pond, the Magoon, playing in the Magoon, and to only be, come to the demise of a fox. That would suck. So put the fence up, Matt. Even though it killed me. Oh, man, did it hurt. That mud, walking in mud. Hello, Brittany. It's hard. The Magoon, still not full. It's really slow. I'm thinking Saturday. The surface area, because now we're going for surface area on the fill. Well, no, Connie, if I put earplugs in, how am I going to shoot the bugger? I've got to get this guy. But see, here's the problem, Connie, okay? Like, I could easily, I could easily put earplugs in and then I would get no sleep because it irritate the crap out of me. I can't have things in my ears. So I could close my windows, but then I would overheat. But I wouldn't accomplish what I need to accomplish. And that is shoot this bugger. Because here's the problem, is that he's coming in at night. Sooner or later, he's going to come in during the day. And when he does, he's going to snaffle up a duck because the ducks are in the yard now because they're not at the lake. And even if they're at the lagoon, you know, this fox has to die. Okay, now they're all moving. Okay, they're all looking at the left-hand corner of the pen. I'm waiting. I know I saw it. I saw them freaking out because I was like standing there and they just blew from the front of the pan to the back of the pan, and they never do that. But the problem is I can't see the front of the pan because when you're standing on the roof or even in the window, the grass roof blocks the view of the front of the pan. I can't actually see grass in the front of the pan along the front. It's a bad perspective. I'm waiting. Still nothing. I'm so tired, folks. 2 morning wines in a row. Okay, now they're running from the front. They're moving. Yeah, this is the fox is there. Oh, I gotta get him. How can I get this thing? See, he's hiding in the shadows, right? He's using the shadows to drive me nuts. Oh man, this is brutal. I hate this fox so much. He has ruined my summer. The dogs are freaking out right now. They were freaking out with a can of geese. About 30 can of geese flew over top this morning, and they freaked out over that. So I was brushing my teeth, and I saw the can of geese, and all the ducks ran to the front of the pan, and the can of geese were really low over the property. I'm playing in double speed here. I'm not having much luck. Mary was off on her timestamp here format this morning. Oh, yeah, maybe this is it. Oh, man. You know, there is another option, guys. There is another option. And this is something I'm thinking we're going to have to think about for next year. And I don't know what kind of material we would have to get to do this, but this is an option. I'm going to run it by you. I'm thinking we need to put like a 3-foot, I don't know what I can say, like a 3-foot tarp strung all along the bottom of the fence. You know, a 2-foot tarp, 2.5-foot tarp. You know, all the way around the bottom. You know, patio wrap. What is patio wrap? I feel like this is Jeopardy. Patio wrap. Oh, the answer. Give me the answer. You know, IKEA sells it. But is it like you can't see anything through it? You can't have even a shadow. A shadow has got to be solid. It's like cloth and it's green. Is it a canvas for privacy? But you need something like a long roll of it here. I gotta end this stream, guys. I gotta go. We're gonna end the stream. I gotta end some streams here while we're chatting. I'm not gonna look at this. I know what it was now. You guys have confirmed it. It's a fox, combination fox and Canada geese flying over the property. I'm doomed for sleep. That's basically it. I'm doomed for sleep. You know? And this way, if something shows up, it doesn't run around and drive the ducks nuts at night. I'm just turning off the other streams here. I'm really sorry about doing this computer tech work while we're chatting, but you got to just bear with me. I'm trying to wrap up. I'm trying to be efficient here this morning. I got the timer going. You're going to hear beep, beep, beep soon. My eggs are going to go in. I got to get some food in me. I'm going to pop the naproxen. And then I'm going to go out and do a duck rush and go to the lagoon with the ducks. But my ankle's really sore from the mud yesterday. See, it's time for eggs. We're doing the full share here today, guys, because I gotta get back. Bacon fat. Let's wrap it in here. Okay, my pan's not hot. What's going on? Oh, I gotta buy another element. Keep forgetting about doing this. All right, back to reheating. I got bacon fat on the floor. Doug, your boy, Dougie, come here. Oh, he'll never come. Getting Doug to move fast in the morning, like that's impossible. Oh, he is here. Oh, Doug, you make a liar out of me. Gotta write this down. Hardware store today. Element. I gotta do that today. I gotta write that down right now. I gotta take Doug to physiotherapy too today. Okay, I gotta get a stove element. It's dying. It's dying. It's dying. I'm hoping the hardware store has it. Actually, you know what? I got the appliance guy coming. The appliance guy, see? Appliance repair. He's coming to fix my washing machine. Turns out my washing machine, it's the clutch. And I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna phone him about the element. I gotta phone him today. See when he can come over. He told me the clutch came in. Okay, we'll just wait. I got the moderator t-shirts to take care of too. Anybody that's a moderator, don't forget, get a hold of me via email, and so we can get this t-shirt that t-shirt Terry has so generously donated for you people. So, yeah, maybe the appliance guy will have him in his truck while he's here. I'll just get him from him. Because I don't know about the hardware store. You used to go in the hardware store and they'd always have elements. And the hardware store is not a hardware store anymore like it used to be. Now they sell, everything's wrapped in plastic. It's not like a real hardware store anymore. You know what I mean? Do you remember those old hardware stores where you walk in and everything was loose and they had everything? And now you walk in and it's all bubble pack. It's like every other store. And then they wonder why they're not competing anymore. They're like, well, and I tell the owner, I told him, you know, I wish you were like the old hardware store. Screws by the pound, exactly, Maggie. You know, nails, you know, everything's in little bubble packs. It's like I don't need 9, I need 3, you know, or you know, I need 27, not 9 packs of 3. You know what I mean? Like, well, no, they got people walking around. This is an old the hardware store. Here's the crazy part, Andrew, is because the hardware store they still have the same staff. It's all family. It's the same amount of people, and they got no traffic, so they don't have to worry about shoplifters. But they got nothing. Everything. It's like it's just bad. It's like the owner. They're still. They don't even have it computerized. Still, they're still doing handwritten bills, and it's like I've told them, but they embrace the blister pack life of consumerism, and they're no longer a real hardware store. And then they wonder why. Well, I don't even know. Well, you know, it's like the old saying, you know, when the student's ready, the teacher shall appear. You know, it's like you just stand there, just like, forget it. How can I can't help you. Okay, let's see if I'm gonna get right back. See if my frying pan's ready. Come on, frying pan. Frying pan's giving me problems here this morning. It's a family business that, you know, what you call it? You know, you ever notice generational businesses? You know, the great grandfather builds a booming, beautiful business. You know, and he makes so much money in retail that he buys buildings and he's got rentals and he's got houses and he's got commercial properties. The great grandfather was unbelievably smart, and then the grandfather, he gets the business and he's really good too. He's, you know, the business is still doing strong, still going strong, not growing as fast, but still going good, you know. And then the father gets it, and then, you know, the father's like he's generationally spoiled now. He's you know, he's not too smart, you know, and it's like he's making so much good money. He's really relaxed, and he's not too, you know, not too gung ho. You know what I mean? And the business starts sliding. You know, maintenance on the buildings go down, and, you know, ideas don't flow. The buildings stay the same. The business stays the same. You know, he adopts, you know, ideas from you know, that he shouldn't adopt for his business, and, you know, things like that. And then the sons get it, and they run it right into the ground, and it's done, and it closes under the sons. You know what I mean? 4 generations of death. That's what this hardware store is. That happens to so many family businesses. Sometimes it only takes 3 generations, eh? Grandfather, father, son, done. You know? Even businesses respect the cycle of life, Vlad. That's good, Vlad. You know? But it's because each generation spoils the next generation that they don't have to be hungry, they don't have to work. It's being hungry. You know, when you're hungry, you go at it. You know? That's the thing. I was never that lucky. I wasn't born to a wealthy family. Not even remotely close. Like, I don't know what's the value of money. It's called effort. Yeah. Can you see your chat? But no one's asking for subs. I don't understand that one. I think almost every one of my duckaholic enablers are we're just common folk. We've all had some stuff dealt to us. We've been put through the eye of the needle, as you could say, in life. You know, Mary, I think you're off in your timestamp. I didn't see. Maybe somebody will capture it for us. Oh, I hear the frying pan creaking. What happened to my business? It was a lot of, how do you say it? A lot of bad decisions got me into trouble. And then, well, yeah, it was, I know it wasn't luck, it was just bad decisions. Things I shouldn't have done. Like I should have rolled over and let the town have their way with me. I fought. I was right. But, you know, business-wise, you know, a prudent business decision would have been to roll over and continue on. But because I'm who I am, I can't be, I can't be bent over like that. And especially when I'm right. That's the thing. When I'm right, when I'm right, I'm bad. When I'm right, I'm a blockhead. And the town had unlimited money, and they finished me off. Oh, that's what happened. But I was vindicated. I was right. You know. I could get a new hunting dog. What? Get rid of Doug? Your kids moan? Well, you know what, Linda? I have to disagree with that, Linda. I really have to disagree, and I'm going to give you a little different way of looking at it. Okay? I don't. First of all, let's find out, how old are you, Linda? I want to make sure I give this proper breakdown for you. How old are you? I'm waiting for Linda's answer here, and then I'll give her. You're 60. Okay, perfect, perfect. You're perfect age. Okay, all right. You're perfect. Actually, you're perfect. I'm 55. Okay, so you know we had it the best, Linda. Not to, I would not want to be. I would not want to be a 30-year-old today. I'm telling you, I would not want to be a 25-year-old because they're doomed. Okay, and it's our fault. Not like you and me, okay, but the people our age that are running the show, all right, and older, that have set the balls in motion, all right. Think about this. The 80s, how much money you can make in the 80s. Oh, they are doomed, Linda. Oh, yes, they are. They are absolutely doomed. They're born into captivity, and they have no problem. We know what a certain amount of freedom is. They don't. Okay, but think about this: in the 80s, how much money you could make. It was ridiculous. Like, I'm telling you guys, I got out of high school. Okay, moved to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Well, I was in the army, but I went to Calgary. I got out of the army, went to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I made the most ridiculous amount of money. It is about money, because the money is the Vaseline of life, Linda. You have no money, you're living in mom and dad's basement, okay? You're not buying your own home, you're not starting your own family, you're not contributing to society, paying, the slave tax to finance your retirement, our retirement, not mine. There won't be no money when I get there. But the purchasing power, when 1987, okay, give you an idea, 1987, all right, just get this here, just to give your head around it. And I'm not bragging, okay, but in 1987, so I was out of high school 7 years, okay, at that point, 7 years, 8 years out of high school, just to high school, grade 12, okay, went to the military, went and worked in Calgary. I was making six figures in 1987 dollars, okay. I bought a brand new 535 BMW, $55,000 cash, no bank loan, cash, okay? I had money coming out of my ears. I had snow machines, I had dirt bikes, and I didn't just have one dirt bike, I had two. I didn't have one snow machine, I had two snow machines. It was absolutely nuts, the money you could make, okay? As a young lad with no education, grade 12. I owned a part of a company. It was just nuts, the money that was floating around, okay? Today, look at today. 26-year-old. What can a 26, 27-year-old expect today? Because you're brainwashed, you need an education, so you get this crazy debt. When I got out of high school, I was thinking of becoming a police officer, and it was $2,400 to get a law. Go to college to get the 2-year course for so you could go on to become the police, to join the police force. And it was $2,400. $2,400. That same course today is $30,000. Okay. And then when you get out, there's no job. Or they convince you. Here's another one. Or today, how they've convinced all the kids today, don't get a trade, work on computers so you can compete with a $5 a day Indian. There's 300 million Indians that can speak English that are sitting on computers that are willing to work for $5 a day. That you could do all this work over the internet. Look at all the outsourcing. All the jobs keep going to India, Bangladesh, the Philippines. You know, it's unbelievable how things have changed. Globalization was a big scam. And our kids, well, not my kids, I don't have any kids, but the kids, the younger people of today, I would not want, if I was 27 today, I would just be like, oh, I couldn't imagine it. I can't even imagine, you know, because when I was 27, it was freaking nuts what you could make. Well, you know, it was crazy. It was crazy. You know, it is. And even, you know, the tradesmen are getting bent over on the wages, but that's going to catch up because the shortage is going to hit, and then the tradesmen are going to dictate the wages. And we're not going to, us common folk are not going to be able to afford a tradesman. You're not going to be able to afford a plumber or electrician because they're going to say their rate's $100 an hour. They're going to be like a doctor is what's going to be, okay? Oh, a little too hot. It's going to be like a doctor. I'll tell you another story. Here's another story. This is fact. Oh, is that ever dirty? We won't look at that angle. Matt, clean your oven hood. Okay. Okay, so here's the story, and this is the truth, okay? I have a friend that does dental marketing, okay, out west. And he works with doctors, not only just dentists, but he also works with doctors, right? And he got involved with the BC government, okay, for the healthcare system. Now, you know how when you go to the doctor here in Canada, I don't know what it's like in the States, okay, but you go in Canada, you get your MRI or your CAT scan, and then you go sit in the waiting room and you wait for the results, okay? And what's happening is they're sending the results over the internet to a doctor, a specialist, okay? And then all he does is read these tests. Yes, folks, I'm having 4 eggs. I'm really hungry. I gotta answer that. Very fast. Okay, so they send your test results or your scan, okay, results of the MRI or CAT scan or whatever by the internet. They send it electronically to the doctor, okay? The specialist does the reading, and then he comes back. Now, in Canada, well, I know in Ontario, some of it's Montreal, the doctors in Montreal, they're all over the country that contract out these specialists that just sit at home and work on a computer looking at your tests, okay? And these doctors, because they're specialists, are making, you know, $300,000 to $500,000 a year sitting there reading these tests and then getting back to the hospital and telling the doctor, oh yeah, we found a tumor, or here, this problem, this sector of your brain, or whatever is wrong. Something's wrong. Or best case scenario, nothing's wrong. But so these doctors are making huge money, and they're charging the medical system anywhere from $300 to $900 to read the test results. Okay, $300 to $900 per. So like, think about it. If you can pop off, you know, 5 to 10 of these a day, that's a pretty good living. All right, as a doctor, because you're a specialist, you're not regulated by the government as a general practitioner of OGA in Ontario. But in BC, it was basically the similar situation. My buddy and this other doctor did a contract with the BC government, and this is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. They went to the BC government and said, we can offer you a service that you can take your results, send them to us over the internet. We'll send them to a doctor, specialist, just the same, you know, the exact same caliber of specialist, the same medical, you know, qualifications, and we can do it for anywhere from $5 to $25 per test. Now you ask, how could you give us the same, you know, diagnosis of these tests for $5 to $25 when we're paying $300 to $900, you know, to the doctors that we currently employ doing this job? Well, it's simple.
It's called the internet, and there's doctors in India that are making 30 grand a year doing this, and they're living the high life. They're driving BMWs, they're living in gated communities, they've got servants, and they're doing it for $30,000 a year. That's globalization, you know? Like, it's you can't get ahead when you got that happening. But, you know, the Indians, they're doing great. They're scooping all this. Well, look at the site Fiverr. F-I-V-V, is it F-I-V-V-E-R-R or F-I-V-E-R-R.com. That's what it's, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Just go on that site, F-I-V-E-R-R.com. Okay, guys? Check it out. You might not know about it. $5. You can get almost anything done for $5. It's ridiculous what you can get done for $5. Pills, painkillers. So I wouldn't want to be a youth of today. And plus the Ponzi scheme, there's going to be no retirement for them. We're going to be lucky to see the retirement end for us. It's a big giant scam. Not enough money's being paid into it. Governments are going to bankrupt everything because that's the only way they can do it, you know. And look at the cost of living. Like when I bought this house in 1995, my monthly hydro bill was like $55. I've never seen a bill lower than $300 here. You know, since the last couple of years, it's like it's just everything has gone through the roof. I'll give you another one. Minimum wage. 1976 to 1980, I worked at a gas bar. The price of gas, and the reason I remember this is because we used to have to write down on the bills all the time, hand bills, and we had to write it all the time. It was like drove into our heads. It ranged anywhere from 45 cents to 52 cents, okay? For a gallon of gas. That was when we were in gallons. That was before we converted to metric. So a gallon of gas, and that's our gallon, which is bigger than the US gallon, which I think is like, what, 15% bigger. So it was like 45 to 52 cents a gallon of gas. Minimum wage was $2.35 to $2.65, because when I ended it was $2.65 an hour. So for $2.65 an hour, gas was 52 cents. So I could buy a touch over 5 gallons of gas with 1 hour's labor, okay? Well, today, you can get a gallon and a half of gas for 1 hour's labor. That's what the youth are dealing with, you know? They're doomed. They don't have it better than us. Look at the price of houses. How does a young person, how's a young couple afford a house today? You can't. There's no way. Like, tell me what young family, well, like I bought this place. I think I paid like $95,000 for this place in 1995. My parents paid $5,000 for their home in 1969. $5,000 in 1969. You know? 67, $5,000. You know? Today, this house, to buy this property, be pushing like $250,000, $260,000 to buy this place. What young family could afford $260,000 in this part of the world? Now, this is this part of the world where nobody's making any money. We're in a very depressed area. Very depressed. Put it this way. There are no $25 an hour jobs here. None. A $25 an hour job here is unheard of. Everything's around 15. So let's say $20 an hour with a family. How do you afford a $260,000 mortgage? How? You can't. if I was the youth of today, well, I know if I was the youth today, I'd be heading the rebellion. And that's the scary part, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we need to be worried about. It's not old people like us that start wars, like the revolutions, not wars. Bankers start wars, but revolutions. It's the young people are the people who have nothing to lose are the ones you have to worry about. And that's the young people of today. That's the young people of today. They have nothing to lose. They could burn it to the ground. They could burn everything to the ground and they would be better off. And that's what a lot of us don't realize, that we're thinking we're comfortable. You know, oh no, everything's just fine. But it's not. We're living in an illusion. It's the young people today. When they're the ones you got to worry about. They're the ones they're riding, you know, they're going to burn it to the ground. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, man. You can't suppress why film while you're eating. Why not, Pam? If you don't like it, go away. Simple as that. I'm trying to multitask here because we got to go let the dogs out, but I got to take medicine, which I just took. And if I don't eat, I'm going to get gut rot and I'm going to die during the duck rush. That's what's going to happen. So you're watching me eat and talk. That's what it is. Oh, Pam's gone. Bye, Pam. Pam's got a problem, eh? Pam's a little snowflakish. Oh, Linda, you don't want to come up here. That's a long time since we've had a snowflake here, right? I sort of got a little bit of a rush out of that. I gotta get some food in me. I can't take those pills. And I was like, my choice was to do this all privately. And you know, you guys wonder where I am this morning, sitting there waiting. When are you gonna do the rush? When's he gonna do the rush? When's he gonna do the rush? Well, this is what I'm doing. Then we're gonna do the rush. Pam. We haven't had one of those in a long time. Oh man, I love Tabasco on eggs. Not you, Pamela. There was a Pam here. You're Pamela. Unless you want to be called Snowflake. I promised I was going to let the ducks out earlier, but it was a bad night here. Believe me. It was really bad. Oh man. Up so much. And then, oh, inflation. Think about these poor kids. You know, everybody says, oh, technology is cheaper. Well, who cares? You know, like 1996, I bought a big 55-inch TV, paid like $4,500 for it. It was a big deal back then. You know, well, today you can buy a 60-inch, you know, LCD TV for $650. You know, well, who cares? You know, lick it to survive? You can't live off of the TV. You know, that's what the government's scamming us. They use technology advancements to lower inflation, eh? It's the biggest scam in the world. Well, you know, all the pensions, our public pensions, how they're tied to inflation. If they were tied to real inflation, it would bankrupt the government. They'd bankrupt everything. Because real inflation is through the roof. Like real inflation, guys, is the government lies because all the wages are tied to what the government says is the cost of living, you know, inflation wise. How can they say, you know, well, they say, you know, your iPhone, you can do more with it. So but that brought down inflation because that iPhone last year was $1,000 and this year is $800. It can do even more. So it's really a $1,200 iPhone. Can't eat it. The young today do not have it better. They are doomed. They're going to inherit all the debt. Look at the debt. Well, worldwide, there's like, what is it, $265 trillion in government debt worldwide. it can never be paid off. Never, never. And all this debt was created out of thin air, and the bankers are charging interest on it. So they're stealing our wealth. And the youth they're not going to say like, we've had enough of this, you know. I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm part of the baby boomers. I was at the end. But I had nothing to do with it. Seriously. But technically, I am a baby boomer, and my generation did this. Set up all these Ponzi schemes, these retirement plans that don't make sense financially. I didn't do it, though. And then here's the sad part is I'm the end of the baby boomers that's going to get screwed because I wasn't far enough into it. Like, I really, if I was like 65 or 70 right now, I'd have a chance to participate in the Ponzi scheme. But I'm screwed because by the time I get to the 65 range where the pension's going to be done, or you'll get a pension payment that'll be enough to buy 2 loaves of bread. When I was a young lad, my grandfather, smart man, he was a millionaire, self-made man, had nothing, worked in the coal mines in England when he was 9 years old. Worked in the coal mines in England when he was 9. He lied about his age. He said he was 13 to go fight in the war. 13, lied about his age, to go fight in the war. Like, really, really tough man. Anyways, he told me the government ain't going to be there when you go to retire. He told me, hey, you're going to get screwed. No, he didn't. It wasn't because he was heroic. He did it because he was sick of working in the coal mines, and he could make more money in the army. He was monetarily driven. He was monetarily driven, very driven man. His life revolved around bullion. He was a bullion collector. Everything he did was in bullion, big into bullion, coins, numismatic. Everything was about hard money. I didn't trust the banks. Well, he grew up as a kid during the Great Depression, and it was like, no, you just don't waste. Andrew, up here, I thought you said bully. I didn't see that, Maggie. I didn't make any sense on that one. The taxation up here is nuts. Like all these regressive taxes, like sales tax, harmonized sales tax. No, bullion, not bully, bullion. He was a bullion man, as in gold, silver. He used to go to South America or South Africa, and this is when all the sanctions were on, and he used to smuggle back gold Cougarans all the time. He had a big, giant Cougaran collection. He built schools in South Africa, northern South Africa, for kids that he was telling me that kids used to go to school under trees, and he saw that and he thought that was wrong. So he built schools. He built 3 schools. It took him 10 years to build 3 schools. Then he set up trust funds to keep the schools going forever. But the trust funds, and this is corruption, Unitarian Society, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that one. They used to do a lot of work in Africa. They stole all the money out of the trust funds. Corporations, these big corporations You know, they're charities. They're not charities. They scammed him big time. So to be a kid, young lad today, the only thing you can look forward to is the revolution. So, Linda, the youth today don't have it better. They don't. You can't have what we had. I've yet to meet a 27-year-old that even come remotely close to what I had. And I wasn't even a success. Like, I wasn't like a star child or an elite. I was just a hard working. Actually, a lot of my money was made straight commission sales. I was straight commission a lot of my work, you know. And a kid, no matter, out of high school, you know, out of high school, you know. And today, kids can't. That opportunity doesn't exist. You know, it just doesn't. Like, all my friends had homes in their 20s in the city, big homes, making the bucks, you know. Today, and the taxation was way less. Like, I remember this. I remember. Yeah, see, Linda, you helped them buy your home. You got to always take that out of the equation, Linda. Take you out of the equation and see what your kids would be like, okay? And then you would change your tune. Think about this taxation. I remember this. I remember this year really good because I sort of thought it was really cool. I broke the 6-figure mark. This is in the 80s, okay? I'm like 26, 25 years old, 27 years old. Broke the 6-figure mark of my income and paid less than 10% tax. Less than 10% tax because of the stuff you were allowed to write off, all right? Like, I remember writing off $13,000 worth of American Express drinking bills, okay? Because we used to love going out at lunch. You know, the boys would go out for lunch to, you know, the restaurants. You know, those kind of restaurants that you tip people big time that can last for like hours, like 2-3 hour lunches. You know, those midday restaurants that guys go to. Anyway, I remember $13,000, wrote the whole thing off. The whole drink, it was all booze, drinking, partying during the day. All business, business, business. You could write off everything back then. Today, you can't write nothing off. You know? Nothing. You can't get 10%, you know, tax at the end of your night, at the end of the day. You know business lunches, Carl. You know those ones, eh? You know the ones, those restaurants, they've got all those shiny poles in them. Now, if you're rich, you just hide your money offshore. Actually, there's a YouTube channel I watch. It's called Black Pigeon Speaks. I watched it last night. A stripper's mom worked in one. Yeah, stripper's mom worked in one of those restaurants. She was a cook. Oh, the lottery's rigged too. Don't even go there. Though the lottery, they'll screw you. Last night, I watched this really good. I recommend this video. Go to this channel. It's called Black Pigeon Speaks, okay? And he did a video on the London Square Mile about the city of London. Watch it. It's 10 minutes. You'll open your eyes. But that's where the elites are funneling all the money, tax-free. It's a massive funnel for tax-free money worldwide. Trillions of dollars of wealth not being taxed. But us common folk, you and me, getting taxed till we die. So that's the morning dose of reality on the duck adventure. And Pam missed out on it. She left. She couldn't handle it. Anyways, credit cards, that's self-inflicted pain. I can't, anybody with credit card debt, I'm sorry, it's self-inflicted. You're just being stupid. Student loans, you got sucked into that one. But, you know, estate death taxes, oh, that's another one. I know. Don't even get me started on that one. But you know what, guys? Bullion. Hard bullion. That's what my grandfather said. Hard bullion. Stuff that government doesn't know about. That's the one you got. Everything else, you're sitting on the tracks waiting for the government to come visit you. You got to be a criminal to not get, you know, lack of a better term, raped by the government. That's it. Because what are they going to do with the money? They're just going to blow it. Needless wars, refugees, not even real refugees, you know. Oh, quantitative easing. I mean, counterfeiting, Peter. Use the right term. Counterfeiting. Printing money out of thin air for the rich to keep the stock market going. You know? The money, and the thing is that all this money, man, the inflation that's coming, I saw inflation. I was in Brazil when they did the currency changes and they wiped out 3 zeros. I saw what hyperinflation is with my own eyes. I stayed there. I watched it. I watched it go. From January, it was 600 cruzados to 1, and the end of April, it was 2,100 to 1. You know, exchange rate to a U.S. dollar. If you couldn't, you had to spend it within 48 hours, or you were losing too much money. You know. Vlad, they got 4 zeros. Well, I was in Brazil and they did 3 zeros off the end. You know, like 3 zeros they chopped off. My buddy, he had a beach rental chair business that in Copacabana Beach, actually, in Rio, and he had the rights to rent all the chairs on the beach. And him and his brother made a lot of money for that part of the world, and renting chairs. And he had $35,000 in the bank, equal in U.S. dollars, in cruzados, I should say, because they renamed it to Cruzero. They went from Cruzado to Cruzero, and not chopped 3 zeros off the end. They no warning, no nothing. Friday night, everything's fine. You know, the weekend starts. Monday morning, banks don't open. They were closed till Thursday. Banks open Thursday morning. All had new currency. 3 zeros chopped off. And any of the old currency that was still in circulation, every time the bank got their hands on it, they put a red dot on it, so that it would show that there was the last 3 zeros on the currency meant nothing. And basically, within 3 months, his savings of 35,000 US dollars that he had in the bank was equal to $350. That's what happened to him. He was not a happy guy. That was a lot of money to go down the drain. All on a, you know. But the thing is, the elite, you know, they got their money out of the system. But the average folk, they paid the price. And that's how it works. It's a rigged game. Oh. It's a rigged game. But the youth today, no, man, I can't even think of it. Like, you know, so what? They have the internet. They have all the, you know, they walk around with a computer in their hands. I had no problem walking around with no computer in my hand in the 80s. Everything went just fine with me. But I had lots of Vaseline in my life, which was money, you know, and purchasing power, real purchasing power for my efforts, you know. And today, they don't have purchasing power. Oh, sports contracts. There's bread and circuses just to keep us, well, not me, but, you know, to keep the dweebs occupied. To, you know, Rome is burning, but let's watch the game. You know what I mean? Like it's all orchestrated to distract us. I watched an interview on another channel last night with Edward. I don't know if anybody ever heard of this guy, Edward J. Griffin. He wrote the book, the Creature from Jekyll Island. Smart man. And there was an interview. Lauren Southern did an interview with him, and actually it was more of just him talking, and she sat there She did a good interview by not interrupting him. And he spelled it out really well of what's going on. And but I've watched him for years. He's a smart man. He painted a really good picture of what's going on. And 1% of the population, controls the world. 1% writes the history. And the problem is that the other side, us, we need the 1% on our side, our own 1% to take on their side. And we need a strategy. Because, the sad part is 99% of us don't matter. Try to talk to people about depressing things. Oh, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear. My life is great. I don't need to hear about it. They're mowing their lawn. They're, doing their thing. And, it's like that. I don't want to hear about this. It doesn't affect me. Oh, it affects you big time. You just don't realize it. But those people, you can't wake up. That's why I don't talk about it to people. And normally I don't talk about it to anybody, actually. But we started down this rabbit hole this morning about the youth. Ignorance is not bliss. It's not. It's dangerous, lad. Stock up in canned goods and grow a garden. Brian, that's how I started down this path in 2011, growing my own food. I didn't know how to grow food. I didn't have a clue. I grew up with gardens my whole life. Like my parents had a garden all my life. I don't remember not having a garden in the backyard. Big garden too. We lived off of it. Lots. I filled the basement with preserves. But as a kid, I didn't pay attention to it. I hated the garden, hated it with a passion. I was like, I hate this, I hate it. One of I'd rather shovel snow. I'd rather shovel snow, cut the grass, pile wood than weed the garden, And so I never liked it. You talk to me about this stuff? Well, yeah, Tom. But you're awake, my friend. Try talking to people that are not awake about this topic. They'll just run from you. So in 2011, actually 2010, I gotta do something, and I started my garden, spring of 2011, and that's how I started down this path. And then I started the YouTube, and I just did the videos because I wanted to video log my journey on this. How to grow a garden and see what my progress was like, because I don't like writing things down, which really I should have wrote my whole life down. I could have wrote an awesome book, but I wanted to log it so that I could look back at it years from now and see how it went. And just by sheer hard work, I had the unbelievable 2011 garden. Like, that was crazy that year. That first year was nuts. Of course, I just did it. I did it right. And that's how I got here. That's how I got here with a lot of you people, actually. Well, Carl, you're there. Like, think about it. How many people here are here because they found my garden? That's how I started down this path. And it was all because I knew that I was going to be in trouble and I wasn't going to be able to afford any food. Because I knew there was a financial Armageddon headed my way. And it arrived. Trust me, it arrived. It was bad, I remember that my dogs were vegetarians for August and September of 2011 because I had a bad streak of well, put it this way, financial Armageddon was headed my way after the crash there, because my business was a delayed reaction on the crash of 2008, 2009. I didn't get affected until 2011, and then it hit really hard, and I knew it was going to get really, really bad, and it did. But my dogs they were vegetarians. I couldn't afford any dog food for 2 months. It was bad. Roasted vegetables is what the dogs lived on. For 2 months, roasted vegetables. That's all they ate. No dog food in the house. It was, thankfully, I planted the garden. And then I had 1,200 pounds of food, froze it all, and I lived off of it. It was, the garden saved me. It literally saved me because I had no money to buy food then. It was bad. Things were getting bad. And then the lawsuit with the town started, and then it just got worse. It was like a speeding train down the hill for a crash and burn. except it took like years to happen. It wasn't like overnight. It was a long, steady, grinding, bad experience. But then I became a serial streamer, and I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to go get changed, get some clothes on here, as in outdoor clothes, and we're going to go let the ducks out. And I start a couple streams. Not a big deal. What I got to do? I'm thinking 15 minutes. I'll set the timer. Actually, I got to give myself a little more than 15 minutes. Oh, no, I could probably do it. Okay, it's going to be 18 minutes or less. I will be back with a duck rush, okay? 18 minutes or less. So don't be going somewhere else and then come back and say, oh, I missed the duck rush. I'm warning you right now. Okay, watch. Everybody set a timer, turn on your computer, do whatever you got to do to set a time. 18 minutes or less. So basically, just sit in front of your computer, hitting F5, waiting for me. Okay? All right? Well, this isn't a schedule. We're on a race now there, Jasmine. All right. Thanks for the morning chat, guys. See you soon.